He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello everyone, it's Don Baine, the Gadget Professor, coming to you live and certainly in color from NAB 2016. We are here with actually a friend of mine, Mr. Travis White. He is from New Blue FX, and I've got a lot of requests to interview Travis, but I had a specific question, and that question was, what's going on with New Blue FX and the wonderful folks at NewTek?
Well, as you know, we've been doing effects for quite some time on post-production. We've been doing titles on post-production. Now we're doing titles on live production.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, so the new product's called Titler Live Broadcast, and it works directly with the NewTek TriCaster, and it supports NDI, so NewTek's latest awesome.
Yeah, I don't think you can go to a booth here and not see NDI, but go ahead.
Exactly. So we're able to send 16 3D animated streams of motion graphics over to your TriCaster.
That has enormous implications. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, not only if you're current with the TriCaster, but if you have a TriCaster that's a year or 2 years old, whatever, you're good to go.
You are good to go, yeah. We also support the AirSend format as well. I would suggest people to get to the TriCaster Advanced. Really,
of course, that's where you want to end up anyway. We want everybody to upgrade their TriCasters anyway, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you have that going on, and another great thing is we have full support of macros. So it depends on the kind of workflow you want. You want a graphics guy sitting at his own laptop driving the graphics, you can do that. You want your TriCaster operator sitting at his control console and hitting those buttons to queue up a variety of graphics, you can do that too, because we have a full macro language that's controlling us from the TriCaster.
That's pretty impressive, and it really opens up a lot of doors that were closed. And from my standpoint of view, and of course I'm always neutral, everybody knows that, but if you've watched the Gadget Professor for the last 4 or 5 years, you know that the New Blue FX suites are my standard go-to. I can't tell you.
Thank you.
I don't want to tell you how many times those effects have saved my butt.
Problem solver.
Yeah, one in particular. I still have, thank God, a very good friend of mine, actually, Dennis Rowland. If you don't know Dennis Rowland, Dennis is was the original singer, one of the original singers with Count Basie. And quite a voice, quite a guy. Anyway, he had a kind of a surprise party at one of the nightclubs, and I have done a lot of work with him over the years, and they asked me on the night of, like an hour before, could I bring my video camera and shoot? And I'm like, okay. So I shot 2 hours, just, a lot of important...
I'm guessing where the story's going.
Yeah, a lot of important heavy-duty musicians there, people whose names you would certainly recognize. Anyway, a week later, I decided to go through the footage, and to my horror, it was not only dark, it was real dark. What do you think I did?
There's ways to fix that.
I was in a panic, and then I went to the that New Blue FX suite, and you had a module there. You want to tell us a little bit about what that module did for me?
Well, we work really hard to make sure that our plugins are reduced in scope of tweakability, so it really gets the job done quickly, right? Because we respect the billable hours of the client, basically.
Right.
And so you probably use Color Fixer or Color Fixer Plus or Color Fast or one of those.
And you have a nice plugin that kind of increases the light when there isn't any.
Yeah, and we worked really hard on that one. We get a lot of popular
It worked so well that it makes you almost cocky, because you kind of feel you can go to any environment and just shoot, and whatever comes out, you're going to be able to fix it with the New Blue FX plugins.
I wouldn't advise it, but things happen, as you just described.
I agree. I mean, and of all people, me, I'm an expert, right? I'm a pro, and boy, I was nailed, but...
Well, you just brought up that our legacy was the video effects, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we still are doing excellent video effects and transitions. Like Adobe Premiere users, they're always saying, I need more transitions, right? We have a whole suite of transitions for that. So, and we work on every NLE platform. So we're on Apple, we're on Avid, we're on Adobe, we're on Grass Valley, we're on Sony. And so we had that those video effects, and we still do.
Right.
And then we moved into 3D animated titles on those NLEs in post-production, right? We're shipping with every Avid that goes out. So our Titler Pro application is doing that. We're also shipping on Grass Valley.
Now, I think it's important to point out, at least from my standpoint of view, that a lot of people are slightly intimidated when they hear the word 3D or title graphics, 3D title graphics. A lot of folks say, I'm not an animator.
This is how we approached it. Yeah. So there's a lot of 3D modeling programs, and there's kind of that mentality, like motion graphic artist, 3D modeling. We didn't want to go that route. So we built a titling application that has the mentality of an editor in mind. So, timeline, tracks, transitions, that kind of model.
You can create a high-level 3D title, animated title, literally in seconds. And it's pretty impressive. So, folks, don't be intimidated by 3D titles. I mean, if you look at the new Blue FX, you're going to find that there's a variety of things that you can create real quick, and the results are stunning, and you yourself wonder, how did I do that? But that's the platform and the functionality that you folks bring to the table.
And actually, you mentioned platforms. This is kind of interesting. So we had the effects, then we have titles on all the NLEs, right? Now we have live titling in the TriCaster experience, but also with Telestream as well. So with
Wirecast.
Yep. All right, and then more to come.
Now that's relatively new, correct?
That is relatively new. Yeah, exactly. But now you can start to see it's the same design engine, the same engine. So our goal is to offer basically a design standard and a graphics standard. A lot of guys who are doing live production, then they have to do some kind of post edit, maybe of some of those shows. Right. And right now they're like, we have to recreate all those graphics in our post side. Well, not anymore, because if you use Titler Live, and then you go to your NLE, you have Titler Pro, regardless of the NLE you're on. Maybe you're in Media Composer and you're finishing in Resolve or back and forth. It goes back and forth with the project file.
Cross-platform.
Yes, Mac, Windows, every NLE.
Linux. I'll tell you something else. I'm raving about new Blue FX because, quite frankly, I've been using them for many, many, many years. People in my production studio have been using their products. And one thing that's not often mentioned, and I'm going to mention it, he has no idea what I'm going to say. We talked a little bit about it before, but I had a nasty problem on last Friday before I came here. I was in the middle of editing something that had to be done like now, and I just could not get it to work. And I called their tech support, and I got to tell you, actually I chatted with your tech support.
Yeah,
and
they're good people. They're good people.
They were on it, and they didn't know what the answer was first pass, but that gentleman spoke with me probably a good 45 minutes, and we resolved the issue. So tech support is something that's real important, and a lot of companies don't do that anymore. But the folks at New Blue FX, they do that, and I commend you. I commend you for that. I really do.
Well, I mean, we believe in our products, and we also believe in our customers that are using the products, and they have needs, right? Like you said, last minute, that often happens in production, right? So we want to be there for you guys. So that's good to hear.
Well, it's the truth, and I can't say enough about the company, the products, and Travis is my go-to guy. He's always with me 24/7 if I need him, and I appreciate that. What else can you tell us? Before I promised I'd get him out of here in 5 minutes, so I'm honored to have him.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about some people might get in their mind, 3D.
Oh, absolutely.
Intense, right?
Absolutely.
Well, here's the cool thing, is we've just developed what we have for post and for live. We don't have 10, 15 years of legacy that we're dragging along, right? So we've approached it fresh, a new interface, new workflows that are very intuitive, and anybody that uses our stuff, they're like, ask the users, they'll tell you.
Oh, there's no question about it.
So there's no worries about learning curves.
The other thing that you do, I think we should point out, is that many times you can just put your cursor over what effect you think you want.
Yeah.
And it samples itself, so you're going to actually see what it is you're going to get. So many times, I don't know what I want, but when I see it, I know what I want.
We're big on templates. We offer a lot of templates. We're big on presets, and like you said, you just mouse over a preset, animates the whole thing.
So, I mean, if you can take your mouse and put it over a preset, you're going to be able to do that effect. I mean, it's really that simple, folks. They're very modest about how well engineered and thought out the software is, but in addition to that, it's the user interface, because the software can work flawlessly and great as it does, but if you're the end user and you can't figure out how to use it,
what's the point?
There's a problem. And it's a hard thing to do, really, to marry that graphic interface, that user interface, what you're going to click, what you're going to do. But everything is, at least with new Blue FX, I find everything is so clearly laid out that it's almost intuitive, which is wonderful, and that's what makes the products, to me, so useful.
Now something I have to add with the new tech
Sure.
TriCaster, right? People in that world are used to seeing graphics packages at certain price points.
Yes.
Right? And we have ease of access to the application, ease of use, but
Absolutely.
we also have ease of adoptability. So our retail price MSRP is $14.99.
See, to me, $14.99, it's just a no-brainer. There's no reason, you'd be foolish not to do it. It's one of those situations where you're not trying to sell someone something, but for what you get for that price, you use it once or twice, essentially you've paid for it, because it shows in the final product. I mean, the new Blue FX looks so good. It looks high quality, professional, and it's easy to do.
Yeah.
And at that price
for the
point,
sports guys out there, actually, we just here at the show, we're representing, working with Sportscast. So they have the ScoreBot device
Right.
that hooks up to game scoreboards at fields, and that data will be streaming in and pre-populating or just populating our scoreboard as well. So we have a scoreboard tool.
so is that like
as
an
part of it.
RSS type of feed?
It's through the network.
Oh, it's through the network,
Through the
okay.
network, yeah. So,
right.
so that means, so we have a console that's a score tool that people can use, or if they're using a ScoreBot or some other ones coming online, we'll have some data feeds coming in, so people can be perfectly synced with what the real game clock is and what we have.
What's nice about that is it brings it down. There are a lot of high schools, colleges that use TriCasters for sure,
Yep.
and other devices, but now you're going to be able to get that power added graphics capability that quite frankly was not available. And not only are you getting the graphics and the kind of what I call the anims, but it's like supersized. It's beyond what you would typically get, again, because of the competencies of the new Blue FX folks. So that's just a tremendous value. And for all you people who have the advanced versions of the TriCaster software, that stuff really shines on it.
Yep, exactly.
And you can get it even though you don't have it now. You can upgrade to that very simply.
Yep, and with that, so the Tyler Live broadcast works with the AirSend like we talked about before, but with this
Right.
new NDI, you can have 16 different streams, and each stream can have multiple graphic templates happening through that stream as well.
It just elevates the whole quality of your production to a new level, and I can't say enough about the products. And as I said, if you've watched me over the years, I don't get excited, but this stuff is so well, it's so well made, and it's such a good company that I'm always honored to have Travis White here with us.
Thanks, Don. I appreciate it.
All right, this is the Gadget Professor. We'll be signing off. We'll see you shortly with some more interviews. And Travis, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.